Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be me telling you about my experience of being an au pair. Now, if you're new to my channel or you haven't seen any of my previous videos, then you are not going to know the lowdown of what's been happening in my life for the past couple of months. But basically, I'm on a gap year, and for the past 3 months I've spent my time au pairing for 3 young boys, which has been absolutely amazing. So today I'm going to be telling everybody, new or old to my channel, about that experience. To begin with, I'm just going to be giving you a little bit of background on the family, how I got the job and the job description of my job. So me and Matthew got the job of being an au pair in May 2016, and we've had it until mid-August 2016. So we've been here for about 3 months, and it's been a very good experience to experience, basically. We got the job through Facebook. Now, there are so many different pages for au pairs. There's pages for people who are wanting to be au pairs, there are pages for families who are wanting au pairs, there's mixed pages, all that jazz. And it's not just for Australia, there are so many different pages for all around the world. So if you're thinking about being au pair, then you don't even have to think about doing it in Australia, you can do it anywhere. Me and Matthew put an ad up on one of these Facebook pages, and the response that we got was just absolutely amazing. There must have been about 16 families who responded to us in the space of a night, in an evening. And then from there, it was just elimination really for me and Matthew. So in the end, we chose our little family in a town called Grafton. And we chose this place because we spoke to Sam, who is the mother, twice or 3 times in the time that we were getting replies from families, like just from the beginning, and she was just so lovely and she was just so enthusiastic about it, and I don't know, it just made us feel like we wanted to come here, and we do not regret our decision at all. Like, it was such a good decision. The family as a whole is just absolutely outstanding. They are so kind, so considerate, they're just lovely, and we got so lucky because it can be dangerous putting an ad up about yourself on a Facebook page because anyone could reply. But when there's admin and stuff on the page, then it's obviously safer. So just please make sure that it's a legit site or a legit page that you put your ad upon, and please don't get yourself into any danger. Carrying on. The job description that we were given by Sam was basically just looking after her children while she's at work. So when she's home from work or when she's got a day off, we have it off. And then it does include light housework, which was fine, and we were more than happy to do it for the money. The money isn't the best here, not gonna lie, like we had higher offers for money, but as a whole it just seemed to make sense to come here because it was where we needed to be. The money wasn't that bad, and we spoke to them a couple of times before we set anything in stone. So the background of the family. There are 3 boys, which you guys are probably sick of hearing me say, but there are 3 boys, and that is Theodore, Hamilton and Edison. I do have videos with all 3 of them, and I will leave the link in the description below. Go check them out if you want to see like the relationship between me and the boys, or if you want to get to know them a little bit more than what I'm going to say now, then yeah, just go check them out. So anyway, 3 boys, and then there's Sam and Nathan, which is the mum and dad. So Sam works in human resources employment, and Nathan is a lorry driver, although we think he's just got a new job. So that was what we were told. That was the job situation when we came, and then obviously the new job's just happened whilst we've been here. But that was the lowdown. So yeah, we got the days off when they were off, and just when they were home, we were off. And light house duties and 3 boys look after. And we were like, hell yeah, that's easy. We can go do that. It'll be a doddle. One major worry that people might have before going into a different family to be an au pair is, will the kids respond to me well? Will they listen to me? All that sort of stuff. Like, what happens if the kids don't like us? And we were just like, we'll try with them, and if they don't like us, then we'll see if there's anything we can do differently, and if there's not, then we'll have to think of something else. But fortunately for us, the boys clicked with us so well. We just get on with everyone just so well. It's absolutely amazing. So when we got here, we were obviously nervous. We didn't really know what was going on. We didn't know the town, we didn't know anyone here, and it was just kind of like, oh my god, this is such a scary experience. But I tell you not, it only took us like 2 or 3 days to get into the swing of things. Nathan stayed off from work for the week that we got there because he'd already had it off anyway because he didn't have an au pair before us. and then he just kept it off so he could show us places, show us what to do, and kind of help us to get to know the boys as well, which helped so much. We did have our problems with the boys at the beginning, like it was kind of like, my mum doesn't do this, my dad doesn't do that, my mum says this, my mum says that, all that type of stuff. And it did kind of get to us a little bit. We were kind of like, well, we're not your mum and we're not your dad, we do things a little bit differently, and whilst they're not here, we're in charge. And it did take them a little while to get used to that, but then once they were used to it, they've been absolutely fine. We used the naughty corner technique, as most families do, and once the boys knew where the line stopped, they've pretty much stopped. I don't think we've had anyone in the naughty corner for ages. But I do understand why people are a bit nervous as to being an au pair, because obviously it's a daunting experience, and especially by yourself. Like, I would be so much more scared if I was by myself, and I can completely understand why people are. But one thing that I'm going to say to people is just persevere. Just keep going with the kids. They will eventually click with you, and if they don't, then that's no fault of your own. You're not doing anything wrong, and there's nothing wrong with you. Just not everybody likes everybody, and if that is the case, then just sit down with the parents. I'm sure they'll be more than understanding, and just let them know how things are going and how you're feeling. Communication in this type of job setting is vital. So us as a family, and I say us, I mean like me, Matthew, Sam and Nathan, would sit down and have a bit of like a catch up and like a meeting type thing every other week or so, I'd say. Just so we got an understanding as to what they were feeling towards us, and they got an understanding as to what we were feeling towards them, and it just got everything out in the air. Like, I feel like if that wasn't there, then we would have had so much tension, and we would have just been like niggling at each other, and that's obviously not what you want to have in a situation like this, because it's not like a job you can go home from. Like, that's one thing that you guys have got to remember. Like, you can't go away from this job once you're here. Like, when you finish, yes, you're finished and you don't have to look after the kids, like you're not obliged to, but once you've got that relationship with the kids, they will always come and pester you. It's almost a compliment for them to come to us instead of their mum and dad, because it just shows how strong that bond is, and it just shows how much they enjoy your company type of thing. So that out the way, like relationships and all that stuff, it's kind of like everyone's different. So some kids might really get on with you really well, some kids might not, and it's kind of like you've just got to trial and error things with them. So now I'm just gonna tell you about my experience and what I've enjoyed about it, what I've not enjoyed about it, all that type of stuff, and then maybe give you a bit of advice. I'm not saying that I'm like the best au pair in the world, but I have experienced it and I have got a different point of view than somebody else, so why not? So this experience has been one of the most eye-opening experiences that I've experienced in the whole time away from home. Doing this job has kind of allowed me to see why parents get so frustrated when you don't pick up stuff after yourself, or when you don't help out around the house as often as you should, or when you make up an argument over nothing when they've had a long day at work type thing. It's kind of made me understand why parents get so annoyed so easily, because I've been in that situation. Like, I have been annoyed so easily over the silliest little thing. So it has kind of made me respect my dad a lot more, in the fact that he doesn't lose his shit as much as I lost mine with the kids sometimes. Like, we had 3-week school holidays with these boys, and some days I could have happily strangled all 3 of them. I didn't lay a finger on them before anyone starts, but they did spend a lot of time in that naughty corner, I tell you that, because they would just argue over nothing, and it would just piss me off. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, like, it would just piss me off that they were just arguing over nothing. You've got a lot of responsibility to help these children grow up, because you are with them a lot of the time, and you have to be like a role model for them. So it is a big responsibility, and if you're not comfortable with that, then au pairing is not the job for you. I think anyone should go for an au pair position anyway, if you're thinking about it, just purely because you might love it or hate it. It's one of them jobs that I can't really say that you are really going to enjoy, because there are times that I really haven't enjoyed my time here. Like, as a whole, I loved it. I've loved the experience and everything, but there were like days or weeks where I just didn't want to do it anymore, and it like all involved like homesickness, or like the kids were just really getting on my nerves, or like sometimes Sam and Nathan would even like say something that made me like doubt myself, and I was just kind of like, do they not want me here anymore? Like yeah. And it's just kind of like all the emotions that get put inside of you from this job is just ridiculous, because you get so many. I do Theodore's homework with him, and I do Hamilton's like homework type stuff with him. He's got like workbooks that he wants to do, and I've been teaching him this alphabet and all that type of stuff. And it's kind of like, yes, they can be learning this in daycare centres or whatever, but you've got that one-on-one connection if you've got an au pair. So if you're a family thinking about getting one, then I do recommend it. I do think it's good to have that one-on-one connection, but I would also recommend getting someone for a longer term job. If you're thinking about going travelling and you want to do au pairing, then I feel like it's a good way to like get them both together. Or even if you're a little bit low on money, like I feel like it's a good way to build up some money, see a bit of the world, and like make relationships with someone in a different country. I mean, just meeting people from other places is such a special thing, and I so recommend you go do it. As for details of this au pair job, so me and Matthew get paid $200 between us a week. So $100 each a week basically. We get our food included, our Wi-Fi included, and we obviously get a bed to sleep in. But yeah, that's like the basis of it, and most adverts that I've seen on the internet were for like free accommodation, free food, free Wi-Fi, and pocket money on top. So if you're an au pair family thinking about all that, then that's something for you to consider. The last thing that I'm going to mention in this video, I think I've covered everything else, is just be aware of picky details that your family have. I mean, Sam and Nathan have some absolute absurd, like, picky things that they want done, and if it's not done, then they get a little bit cranky about it, I'm not gonna lie. And you've just got to remember that you have picky stuff yourself, and so does your family, and you work for them. So if they tell you to do it, then you do it. Basically, you can't really complain because it's a job. I think I've covered everything of my experience. Like, it's been good. There has been times where I've thought that it's bad and wanted to leave, but I've pushed through and really enjoyed it. Like, I've absolutely loved living with this family, and I'm very sad to be leaving. If you want to know anything else, then please feel free to leave a comment down below asking questions. I will be more than happy to answer any of them. But I do think I went over like everything, like in worries wise and like details and all that type of stuff. I'm not entirely sure when this video is going up. It could be next week, or it could be like a couple months, I don't know, it depends on how good the internet is whilst I'm travelling. But if you've enjoyed watching this video about me telling my experience of being an au pair, or if it's helped you in any way, then please make sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. It means you can come back and join the party, and I would absolutely love it if you did. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye!